Welcome back to Utah Matters. My name is Andy Waits. The guest today is the co-producer, I suppose, of the movie. It's called Killer at Large, right. And it's on DVD now, is it? Or
not on DVD right now. Right now we're in the film festival season, so we're taking it around to all the different film festivals.
Okay, I wanted to show another little piece of it. That sugar is such a big topic. Let's look at what the movie says about sugar.
You think of how a person is affected by alcohol or by cocaine or heroin. The same receptor in the brain that affects those takes in sweet beverages. And what the research seems to be showing is that as you consume an amount of sweetness, you get satisfied with that, but after a while you're not satisfied. You need to consume more sweetness and more sweetness. And what they seem to be showing is that we've essentially created a generation of addicts to sweetness and to big sugar.
Ooh, I'm guilty of that.
Right.
I mean, but some sugars are okay, right? If I'm eating fruit, that's a good thing, right?
Well, you know, fruit sugar is better than some of the processed sugars, only because it's coming in the package of a fruit, which also has vitamins and minerals and fiber and water and things like that.
Dried fruit, is that okay?
Well, dried fruit is a very concentrated package of sugar, so it's certainly better than getting your sugar from a Twinkie, but it's still a lot of calories, and people need to understand how many calories they're consuming at a given snack.
You're a biological nutritionist. Tell me chocolate's okay.
Well, chocolate actually is not as bad as people think. Chocolate is, you don't want to eat a whole big chocolate cake, but having a little bit of a chocolate bar that can be almost as healthy as it is bad. So it's kind of a wash.
So if my wife and I buy, say, a Hershey's bar and we eat it in a couple of nights,
right?
We're splitting it, we're sharing it together, and it takes 2 nights to eat a bar. That's okay.
And that's fine because when we're under stress, that cortisol hormone that's telling that you're hungry, it's telling you're hungry for that sort of thing. Yes. High calorie, high sugar, high fat foods. And what I'll tell people in the program that we run is to have a little bit of that. That'll satisfy the biological drive to eat that, and then you feel better.
There's a girl in this movie. She's 12 years old. She's very overweight, very obese, I guess I should say. And she decides to go through, I don't want to give away too much, but it's close to the front of the movie, stomach stapling and liposuction.
Right.
Tell me her story.
Right. Well, her story is, as a 12-year-old, her family decided liposuction would be the only way to get her down to a healthier body weight. So they sucked out 50 pounds of body fat from this 12-year-old girl. And we followed her over the course of the movie. And I don't want to give away the end of the movie, but at the end, she gained back 70. So she gained it all back plus some bonus weight. And her parents decided, well, now let's fly her to Mexico and get stomach stapling surgery so that, now that must be the solution. And obviously, it's not the solution.
No, especially at 12 years old. There's psychological factors involved here, right?
Well, there are psychological factors. There are psychological factors, stress factors, lifestyle factors, and they thought we'll just suck this fat out and we'll be fine, but she didn't change any of those lifestyle factors, and so it came back, and it came back quickly, and it came back even more than it was before.
Obviously, you have to modify what you eat, how much you sleep, and also how much you work out, or you're getting some kind of exercise. Right. First off, how much exercise is enough?
Well, it's a lot less than you might think. If you look at it just how many calories do you need to burn off this burrito, for instance? A Taco Bell burrito, just to give you an example, takes about 5 miles of running to burn off. And that's just the regular size one, not the grande that you can upsize
I'm in trouble.
But what we try to do with people is try to educate them about some very easy changes they can make with their diet, some very easy changes with their exercise. So, for instance, if you go out and just, instead of going steady state fat burning zone for your exercise, if you do intervals, hard, easy, that'll burn double the calories in the same amount of time.
No kidding.
So little tricks like that can really make someone's program click for them, and they can get the results they're looking for.
Which factor is more important, diet or exercise?
If you're looking for weight, diet is about 2/3 of the issue. And exercise is still important. It makes you feel better, it controls your hormones, it burns some calories, but diet is really where you want to concentrate.
I was hoping you wouldn't say that, because I love to eat. I love to eat. Dr. Shawn Talbott is our guest on Utah Matters. The name of the movie is Killer at Large, and we have one more segment coming up where we can find out where you can see this movie and more information. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on Utah Matters. My name is Andy Waits. The guest this morning is Dr. Shawn Talbott, producer of a brand new movie that's called Killer at Large. Right. It's all about obesity and how you can keep from getting fat, I guess. What do you want to accomplish with this movie?
Well, I want people to leave the theater angry that there's so much to this story that they've probably never heard before. A lot more than just diet and exercise.
Guy.
Well, you know, not that, but do something. Call their congressman. Call their senator. Talk to the people who are the administration of their children's schools, and really try to get some movement here. This is the biggest, most important public health issue that has ever faced our country. I mean, it's literally killing more people almost than tobacco. So it's a huge issue, and I want people to get excited about it.
It's almost a genocide of poorer folks also because of the subsidies you were talking about.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. And you know, people in that socioeconomic class, if they're the most at risk for it, they might not have the resources to mobilize against it. So, you know, we're doing film festivals, we're doing private screenings, we're going to schools. If there's anybody who's watching that has a school that wants to see this film, we're happy to come out and, you know, make it a fundraiser or make it a big event to really get people coalescing around this problem.
Why did you make the movie? What is your ultimate goal?
Well, it's education first, but it's also to get people angry and mobilized against this issue.
You want them whipping into a frenzy? You want them out there with pitchforks and torches?
I want to light a fire under people to get them out there to you know, it needs to be more people than just me as a nutritionist saying, here's what we need to do, and here's the solution, and here's how we can solve this problem. It needs to be a lot more people getting angry about it.
On an individual basis.
Exactly. There's things that people can do for themselves, but then there's things we need to do as a society at the same time.
Give me an action step I can take today.
Well, I think call your school administration. That'd probably be the easiest thing. Find out what they're feeding to the kids, why they're feeding it to the kids, how much they're making on vending machine, revenue. You know, how much does that Coke or Pepsi machine generate to the school's bottom line, and really start asking hard questions about, are we locked into this, or are there some solutions? And there'll be different solutions for every different district. Are there some solutions that we can put into place to sort of protect our kids from this problem?
And of course, there's a cost in health care over the long term that eventually we're looking at a little short-term change in the machine, and long-term it's going to cost us.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, through the nose. Well, where can somebody see Killer at Large?
You know, the best place to go right now is the website for the film, killeratlarge.com. And on the website, you can see a list of where we're screening, film festivals, local showings. You can also view some trailers of the film and really get a perspective of what we're trying to cover.
At the website, can they find other tools as well?
They can. Killeratlarge.com.
Okay. Excellent. Well, Dr. Shawn Talbott, thank you for coming in and sharing with us this brand new movie. I think it's a very important movie. It's called Killer at Large. Again, killeratlarge.com is where you can find out more information about it. And thank you for joining us on Utah Matters.
Thank you.
We hope you'll join us again next week at the same time.